Welcome back to the channel, guys. GGB here. Now, I got a bit of a special treat. It's Total War Rome 2, as we all know and love. And it's going to be a classic matchup between Sparta and Rome. Now, the two players in this battle, it was sent to me by Sexual Predator. I think his name is It's Fucking Raw, SH Clan. Good friend of mine. He's a great player. And he's going to be coming up against Soul playing Rome. Now, I can't think of anything more scary than that. But Soul as Rome has picked a pretty funny army. He's got a War Dog, which is going to be interesting to see how those guys are used. And he's also got two of these Legionary Cav, and he's got 4 Vigiles. And then, of course, he got the core of Evocati Cohort, 4 of them, and 4 Veteran Legionnaires. Pretty standard stuff. 3 Balearic Slingers. So very strong sword core, but he's also got these funny, auxiliary troops that you wouldn't really expect to be in a really strong Roman army. So it'll be interesting to see how they use. Now, we've got Sexual Predator as Sparta. He does have the Skirmisher Cav, 2 Tarentines out the flank, 2 Gorgos Skirmishers and 1 Helot Slinger. Up front, 2 Perioikoi Pikemen and 1 Spartan Youth. He's got 3 Royal Spartans as his infantry core, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Spartan Hoplites, 1 up the back, so 6 Spartan Hoplites all up, and the general is one of those Royal Spartans as well. So both factions, very strong infantry, classic matchup. Love to see this kind of thing happening. It's a bit of a blast from the past here. Good to see these two factions facing up once more. A bit of a slogfest because both factions have decent infantry and fairly good skirmishes as well. Where they both lack is in the cavalry department. Rome has a fair bit of they've got better cav, but it's just very expensive, and you wouldn't really consider bringing it just because it is that expensive. So it looks like Soul's going to be using his Vigiles here to be just baiting out volleys from the Tarentine cav and keeping them at bay. We do have a bit of a skirmish battle happening here. It looks like it's skirmisher on skirmisher. I don't know what's that aiming at. I think it might be aiming at the Balearic Slinger. So a little bit of focus fire happening. Actually, no, there's not. Okay, yeah, actually there is a little bit of focus firing on the Balearic Slingers. The Gorgos skirmish, I don't know if they could hold up to the Balearic Slingers. The attack on these guys is just so high, and the missile block chance is great and all that kind of stuff. So it's anyone's guess as to who's going to win that. Interestingly enough, Perioikoi Pikemen being very aggressive, being pulled up straight in front of the Roman defenses here. This is a good vista here. Pulling back with the Spartan Hoplites because the charge from the Legionary Cav was coming in. Again, it's going to be super interesting to see how these Legionary Cav are being used. Wow, charging straight into the Royal Spartans to knock them down. These guys are super heavy spear infantry, where the Legionary Cav are only medium melee Cav, so they're taking a lot of losses straight off the bat. And the Evocati Cohort and the Veteran Legionnaires just piling on in, up against a Royal Spartan in Hoplite Wall and a Spartan Hoplite. Holy shit, that is one intense engagement here. We have a bit of a switcheroo. The Perioikoi Pikemen are covering for the Royal Spartans, who are going to be charging up front. It looks like they're just deploying themselves in front. It doesn't look like they're taking an actual charge here. The Royal Spartans, interestingly enough, are being pulled out of this fight. So they took the charge, and then they're being pulled out. Not a bad idea. Oh, a bit of a switcheroo. Awesome stuff here. Royal Spartans pulling back just in time to get out of the way of those Veteran Legionnaires. The Perioikoi Pikemen did not have their pikes down, though, so they took a lot of losses from that charge, and they were going to be wiped off the face of the planet by this Veteran Legionnaire. Royal Spartan coming back into the fight here now, though. And we do have another Royal Spartan coming back into this fight here as well. Out in this flank, we do have a bit of an engagement. These are, wow, Royal Spartans being caught in the middle of nowhere, chasing a Veteran Legionnaire, being held down by the Legionary Cav and also being gunned up on the Vigile. And look at this, the charge is going to come in. Bit of plumbarded darts in the back of these Royal Spartans. Not going to take too many losses on the charge. But over time, this is going to be a bad situation for the Royal Spartan general. You can see some Spartan Hoplites coming over to support wherever they can. Perioikoi Pikemen just eating javelins at this point. Veteran Legionnaires pulled out of this fight. You can see the pikes are down, and they're going to press the attack with another Spartan Hoplite. Evocati Cohort coming into this fight. We got engagements all over the joint. Spartan Hoplite charging into the Vigiles. I didn't actually see where these War Dogs went. It's not clear where the War Dogs went at this point. I think maybe they chased off one of these Tarentine Cav. That could have been it. Nice little rear charge coming in here on the Spartan Hoplites by the veteran Legionnaires. And all the while, these skirmishers are just kind of picking off different targets. But interestingly enough, it looks like the Balearic Slingers are doing the same thing. They're going to be firing upon these Perioko Pikemen, maybe? Yes. Taking down the Perioko Pikemen. Oh, Legionary Cav caught on the end of these of these pikemen here. The Royal Spartan General just beasting out this engagement, just hammering their way through a Vigile, and it looks like they're going to be able to make their way through this veteran Legionnaire as well. Insane stuff. You just cannot leave these Royal Spartans alone. And it looks like he's going to have to... Sol's going to have his hands full with 4 of them here. Another one over here, and this one over here is doing quite well as well. They're all down to about half strength, or a little bit more. So it looks like this Spartan Hoplite going to win out over the veteran Legionnaires with the help of this Tarentine Cav. Again, charging to the back of these Spartan Hoplites was a good idea, but it just leaves himself open to this kind of thing by the Gorgo skirmishers. So, Sexual Predator doing an amazing job with the skirmishers so far. A couple of instances where the Spartan Hoplites are starting to struggle. Royal Spartans are still holding pretty firm, but I can't really see Sol fighting back from this one. But, I mean, how many times have I said that and he's been able to win a match, you know? Yeah, it's a lot of times. So Vigiles and Evocati cohort coming in here, charging into the Spartan Hoplites. Neither one has the most amazing charge, so that'll be a pretty extended fight there. Royal Spartan General, 65 men left, coming back into the fight. These Spartan Hoplites doing a great job up against the Evocati cohort. These Evocati cohort are actually just chewing their way through one of these Perioko pikemen. Balearic Slingers, oh man, just hammering this Royal Spartan. There's only a Vigile in between the Royal Spartan and the skirmishers here, so they're going to have to hope to get rid of this unit. They're dropping really fast, down to 54 men. Oh, going into square formation. Oh man, this is a sad situation. Sexual Predator is going to actually absolutely hammer this Vigile, but it's going to take a little bit of time to get through them. The Balearic Slingers are going to have to be pulled back, and it looks like the Legatus General is going to have to be taken into the fight here, just warding off Tarentine Cav and Skirmisher Cav. It's going to be kept really busy. Sexual Predator, good idea, pulling back the Royal Spartans, not wasting any time with the Vigiles. It's just a kind of pointless battle to fight there. Spartan Hoplites ganging up on these Evocati cohort. Down to 53 men, they're going to be able to hack their way through this Perioko pikeman. Or maybe. Tarentine Cav coming in here. Wow, look at this clump of units. Sexual Predator is just circling here, like a vulture on its prey, just waiting for an opportunity to strike. Skirmisher Cav coming in here may actually be able to catch some of these skirmishers, and we also got a Spartan Youth. One of these medium spear infantry is going to be able to catch some of these units as well. So it looks like Sexual Predator is winning out in a couple of battles around the place, but in a couple of places it's going the opposite way. We've got Evocati cohort with 30 men, probably going to be able to beat this Royal Spartan. We've got a very healthy Evocati cohort over here. Veteran Legionnaire slogging it out, winning a battle over a couple of different units. Pretty tough with a Perioko pikeman in the fight. So while the Romans are fighting valiantly, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to hold up, really. Tarentine Cav. Sol's desperately trying to keep his Balearic Slingers alive, just pulling them out of any engagement they get themselves into. These Evocati cohort are going to actually thrash these Spartan youths, but again, Sol's just absolutely desperate to keep these guys alive. He's going to have to hope to keep... If he's got any hope to win this match, it's in these Balearic Slingers, and he knows it. Look at him go, just warding off Spartan youths. Royal Spartans got the Tarentine Cav. This Legatus is chasing off the Tarentine Cav, and we got the Vigile as well. Man, Sexual Predator is being an absolute pain. And all the in the meanwhile, oh, interestingly enough, we have Sexual Predator sending in the Gorgos skirmishers here. Going to try and get into a hand-to-hand combat with the Balearic Slingers. So we have a skirmisher on skirmisher fight happening here. Evocati cohort turning around to hopefully help out. It looks like they won't be needed, actually. They're going to turn around and engage these Royal Spartans and Spartan Hoplites. Hopelessly outnumbered, 21 men left. So this looks like a pretty good engagement. 88 Evocati cohort up against the Royal Spartan with 42 men left. Though they are getting jabbed in the back. Though crucially, the skirmishers are still alive. And it looks like these Tarantine Cav are going to be taken out of the fight. So it looks like Sexual Predator's quickly losing any option to get to these Balearic Slingers. If he can get one volley off, he may actually just save this. Balearic Slingers getting a couple of shots in on the Royal Spartans. Crucial. But it looks like he's actually going to lose this one over here to this Tarantine Cav. And it looks like he's kind of given up on the skirmish. It's very, very, very close. That almost turned into a comeback to Sol there. Oh, costly victory. Did you see that? The friggin' general was wavering there. I think he called it a little bit early. Because right at the end there, the Royal Spartan general started to waver, and a couple of other Spartan units did waver as well. But I guess he thought it was over with the finishing off of those Balearic Slingers. Lots of kills on all of them, 112, 43, 44. The War Dogs, wow, 136 kills. Didn't actually watch what they were actually doing. Should have paid attention. Legionary Cav, hopelessly useless in a battle up against the Spartans. I guess he was hoping to kind of use them to get to the enemy skirmishers. But the Gorgo skirmishers and the Helot Slingers being pretty crucial in that win. But of course, the Royal Spartans getting, so many kills. You really can't hold them off for long enough to kind of finish them off. Whatever you throw at them, they're always going to do well. Spartan Hoplites, pretty cost effective. Tarantine Cav also doing a great job at getting into the enemy skirmishes. And Evocati Cohort, you can't really, have a battle without them having some crucial part of it. But anyway, thank you, It's Fucking Raw, SH Sexual Predator. Thank you so much for sending that in. All SH Affair, one of the only, Total War clans left that are super active. It's good to see these guys playing a battle, especially one that's so classic like this. You don't really see that too often. So thanks for sending that in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know I did. And I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Juju Bear signing out. Peace.